Genesis chapter 18 verse 14, it states, "Is there anything too hard for the Lord?" I mean, come on, can you think of one thing that God has done for you that no other person could possibly do? I could think of tons, but today we're focusing on one word, Almighty. Yep, it's true, God is definitely Almighty. He's full of power or has absolute power. And one of the many books in the Bible that definitely represents this is Judges. And today we'll be reading Judges chapter 7 verses 1 through 8. So stay tuned. Early in the morning, Gideon and all his men camped at the spring of Harod. The camp of Midian was north of them in the valley near the hill of Moreh. The Lord said to Gideon, "You have too many men. I cannot deliver Midian into their hands, or Israel would boast against me. My own strength has saved me. Now announce to the army, anyone who trembles with fear may turn back and leave Mount Gilead." So 22,000 men left, while 10,000 remained. But the Lord said to Gideon, "There are still too many men. Take them down to the water, and I will thin them out for you there. If I say, 'This one shall go with you,' he shall go. But if I say, 'This one shall not go with you,' he shall not go." So Gideon took the men down to the water. There the Lord told him, "Separate those who lap the water with their tongues as a dog laps with those who kneel down to drink." 300 of them drank with cupped hands, lapping like dogs. All the rest got down on their knees to drink. The Lord said to Gideon, "With the 300 men that lapped, I will save you and give the Midianites into your hands. Let all the others go home." So Gideon sent the rest of the Israelites home, but kept the 300 who took over the provisions and trumpets of the others. In case you didn't fully understand the story, here's some points you need to remember. God promised Gideon that he would defeat the Midianites using Gideon. Gideon gathered up 32,000 men of Israel to go out and fight the Midianites. God didn't want or need that many men to fight the battle. He was going to fight the battle for them. He didn't want them to think they were winning the battle in their own strength. He wanted them to know the battle would only be won through his power. So God sent them down to the river to get a drink, and he told Gideon to choose the men who lapped up water from the river like a dog. This was only 300 men. God told Gideon that he would win the battle for them with only these 300 men. Interesting, right? But now let's take a look at how the story ends. Now we'll be reading Judges chapter 7, verses 15 through 25. When Gideon heard the dream and its interpretation, he bowed down and worshipped. He returned to the camp of Israel and called out, "Get up! The Lord has given the Midianite camp into your hands." Dividing the 300 men into 3 companies, he placed trumpets and empty jars in the hands of all of them with torches inside. "Watch me," he told them. "Follow my lead. When I go to the edge of the camp, do exactly as I do. When I and all who are with me blow our trumpets, then from all around the camp blow yours to shout for the Lord and for Gideon." Gideon and the 100 men with him reached the edge of the camp at the beginning of the middle watch. Just after they had changed guard, they blew their trumpets and broke the jars that were in their hands. The 3 companies blew their trumpets and smashed the jars, grasping the torches in their left hands and holding in their right hands the trumpets they were to blow. And they shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon!" While each man held his position around the camp, all the Midianites ran, crying out as they fled. When the 300 trumpets sounded, the Lord caused the men throughout the camp to turn on each other with their swords. The army fled. After reading that, you can tell God won the battle for them with only 300 men. They could all see that they won only because God is all-powerful, or Almighty. Let's finish off the memory verse. And today we're going to be reading Isaiah chapter 14, verse 27. And it states, "For the Lord has proposed, and who can prevent him? He has stretched out his hand, and who can turn it back?"